Howdy, hombres! My name's L.A.zy. Welcome back to the letter. Last episode, we were at Becca's chapter. Well, we didn't see much of the ghost, thank God. But apparently, Isabella was doing her own little investigation in the matter of missing BRC employers as well. And Ashton actually caught her in the act. They had a little argument, a small, tiny disagreement, but nevertheless, we managed to talk Ashton into having more of an open mind. So. It's not that he's gonna believe anything that supernatural is going on, but at least he's like more inclined to trust his friends whenever that happens. So, without further ado, let's get going. This party hits full swing an hour later. With the host's opening remarks given, still no sign of her husband, the poor woman, and the guests promptly fed. The band shifts melody to a livelier tune. Soon laughter and the rhythmic tapping of shoes fill the room, all in accordance to the lifting strains of music. Seems fun, I admit. Fascinating at certain moments, a flurry of dancers making the music their own, almost with no care in the world. We're so indisposed. If I weren't so indisposed, I'd have joined the crowd for a song or two. But there isn't a lack of invitations anyway, plenty of them in fact, with some asking more than once. It's only my stubborn refusal that prevents me from joining them. And I can. A single no is all it'll take, and the evening would have been far enjoyable for me. The pride in my own silly hopes and thought of being seen with one of them by him curbs that, as much as I had to admit it. Because doing so also means outright acknowledging the douche's claims. That he has to be the one to tell me that still sends my blood boiling. I would have preferred someone more agreeable and less of an ass. It's a hard truth to swallow, especially when the very person in the center of it makes denial difficult. I can't even spare a minute of his attention or a single glance at me the whole evening. There's our boy Zachary. Well, Zachary might have spoken more words to me. The big guy's busy covering the event to vote. But at least he manages to slip in a conversation or two between takes, a small wave of his hand when he passes by. What's Ashton's excuse? He's been flitting in and out of sight the whole time. One moment he's hanging around a small group, and another he's hovering around the string band. Just a second ago he's wolfing down some deviled eggs by the buffet table, glass of wine in hand. Next thing I know he's gone. I didn't know any better, I'd say he doesn't want to be with any of his friends. Let's see how much of the branching tree we got done. We're almost close to the end, I think. Okay. Is it because his boss is here? What's the big deal about that? Never has bothered him before.
I swear, the next person who asks, I'm dancing the night away with. Ashton can go fuck himself.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Hannah. Her voice almost makes me jump, too focused on the gobshite wandering around the ballroom and my own annoyance to notice. If she's heard any of the profanities I've mumbled or she's taken notice of my discomfiture, she makes no comment on it, merely greeting me with a smile when I turn my attention to her. There she is. Miss Hannah Wright gives off a whole different air when she's not speaking to an audience. Homely, a bit too friendly for my liking, but I guess that comes from being raised in such an environment and having to deal with pompous, snooty people. Though I suppose nothing has really changed from years ago. I remember her carrying herself in the same manner during that one nightly visit. She remember any of it. I would be surprised if she doesn't. It's taken me a while myself. She's probably known a lot of people like little Becky throughout the years. I've already forgotten about them and my parents. People like her thrive on connections after all. Nevertheless, I returned the smile, awkward and stiff as it may be.
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Oh, you're fine, dearie. It's only really the parvenus, those who climb, that come to these parties all dolled up. Quite the black-haired beauty, isn't he?
It takes me a while to realize who she's talking about, until Ashton walks by again, in closer proximity than any of the times he has done so far this evening. Still, without a look of acknowledgement our way though, even if Miss Wright speaks loud enough to catch the attention of anyone within earshot.
Who, Ash?
You know, you really shouldn't have turned down those offers. If I wasn't married, I'd happily go dancing with those young men. But you said a name. Ash, that's the exquisite lad you've been looking at all this
It's
time.
that obvious now.
I don't know him, and I'm the one hosting this party. That must mean you know each other. Is he your boyfriend then? Because that would explain those rejections.
This again. And I do remember there's going to be a ghost right behind us, I think. This isn't the first time someone's made that assumption. Almost every student I've had in the past did. My coworkers more often than not assume he is. A few of my neighbors also think we're an item. Not that Ashton has ever reacted to those. He's been quite indifferent about it, in fact. Still, the heat of a blush creeps up my cheeks. I deny already, despite wanting it to happen so badly myself.
What? No, that's ridiculous. He isn't my boyfriend.
Such a violent reaction. A simple no would have sufficed. Many here would be happy to hear it.
And I haven't been looking at him.
I do my best to summon a straight face, but for good cheer, he easily falters.
That's right. You've been staring. Quite heatedly, in fact. Although I'm not sure if you look like you want to kiss him or kill him.
It's more the latter currently.
Just don't go murdering him on my property. I don't want to walk into a room and suddenly find a body there.
Maybe you will one of these days. I mean, you are one of the most haunted places in the city. It's infectious in a way. No sooner find myself enjoying our chat more than I imagine myself to. Although her attention briefly wavers at one point, she remains a good companion. Even more once that I mentioned who my parents saw her. Her face quickly lights up and fondness graces her face, despite the meeting from several years ago being short one. Of course, there are some things we really can't avoid talking about. After all, it's one of the few things I remember her asking me, the moment she spotted little Becky in the room. Do you have a boyfriend? In retrospect, it's an odd thing to talk about as children, and our loads we could have started with.
Yes, oh, I remember you. You were the cutest little thing with glasses. And when we met, you were having boy troubles with this lad called something with an A.
I believe I still gave the clothes she gave me, chosen, all so I could impress him. And even back then, Ashton was always been denser than a rock, and that one attempt to get him to notice backfired spectacularly. Sure, he's scheming, he's a detective for heaven's sake, but feelings more often than not escapes him.
What was it again? Aaron, Alan, Adele, Albert, Alexander, and
Ashton! Which makes this whole talk all the more embarrassing. And the more names she lists off, the more my discomfort grows until my smile turns to a grimace. What will she think of me? Here she is married to a man she most probably loves at that, while I'm still stuck in the same place, yearning for the same person.
Ashton! Ash! That man is that boy! The same one. Oh, goodness me, after all these years! I can see why, though. He's quite dashing.
In a way.
You don't really need to announce it to everyone with an earshot, you know? Keep it down.
I'm so sorry, but it really is cute.
She says that, but for a short moment, a hint of pity flickers in her eyes. I take that as a chance to change the subject before anything more can be said over the matter. Haven't even figured out how I should feel about the things Luke told me. Now I'm getting dragged into a similar discussion.
This is a nice party, Miss Wright.
Though to be frank, I doubt she'll be so willing to pass this up. The topic has already captured her attention.
Please, Hannah is fine. We're friends of a sort, aren't we? We must be friends, seeing as I know about your little infatuation, Becky. Don't you worry, dearie. You'll have your happy ending yet.
I'm not too concerned about that, am I? That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh? And what makes you think that? Doesn't everybody want their happy ending?
The idea of happy endings sounds like they're just for fairy tales. And they are, sorta. I don't think you can just sit around, trapped in some tower and hope for the best. If you love them, you have to fight for it, right? You're not just going to sit there and hope that everything will just fix itself on its own. Like everything, you have to work at it.
Hypocrisy, that's what this is. How dare I preach about something when it's exactly what I've been doing. And then, I go and act as if I'm entitled to any of it. That by virtue of us growing up together. He must return whenever I feel for him. He's not allowed to look at another, because I'm the one who has stayed by his side the longest. Well, in the first place, Ashton has always been his own person. It's something I cannot force on them. I can only hold on to these, take care of them until the time comes I can confess it to them. Great if you reciprocate, but if you can't, if you won't, selfish. I've been so too selfish. How laughable that Luke's words will still strike true up until now.
But what do I know?
I'm sure the daughter of the two greatest professors I've ever known is smart enough to know what she's talking about.
At one point, maybe I wouldn't exactly agree to that. However, these past weeks have also seen changes in the way I view things. As nice as these things sound, it turns out whenever I previously know, I can be true for other people, only for myself. It is sobering and almost funny how things I might have said with much certainty before, and I was doubts muddying each of them. There will be time to mull about these later, because when the hush suddenly descends in the room, a whole different issue reads. Oh great, he's back. Especially when Luke, fucking Luke, striding to the now quiet ballroom, fashionably late and using with the same pompous mien he always carries around him.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party?
We were until you came by.
I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the right mansion.
Before long, Hannah leaves my side and joined him, and it doesn't take a genius to piece it all together.
Welcome one and all to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen, if you would excuse my presumptuousness. So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone!
His attitude, the manner he carries himself around people, his unfamiliarity with that part of the city, of fucking course, I should have known. Although I'm partly at fault here, and tabloids and gossip columns have never been really my thing, I should have also suspected that whatever Luke fucking right is, some sort of drama will sure follow. He seems the kind of person who revels in it, figures he'll find him on its own, even when he's not asking for it. Oh, this moment. Rochelle, I think was her name, happens amidst a round of applause and hoots, the people lagging behind the crowd they gathered does not catch on until the cheers turn to several scandalized gasps.
I am pregnant with your little bastard. You promised me you'll take responsibility. God damn it, Luke. I finally got you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me.
What do you mean you're pregnant with Luke? Is this true?
Lies and slander, woman! Security! Yo, Hans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of herself!
No, you do not do this to me. I was so ready to leave my stupid oaf of a husband. I told you to leave that damn wife of yours. Look at her. Does she look like she wants a baby? Does she look like she could take care of a baby?
How the hell did the Kylie situation even start? How did you become a godfather of her? Oh boy. Luke, god damn it. The commotion doesn't go further, despite the drunk woman appearing like she has plenty more venom to spill. In a little while, security shows up, escorting her out. Apparently she's the chief inspector's wife, too. As if this whole thing can't get any more fucked up than it already is. What a mess. The damage has been done, and beyond the repercussions this will bring, I'm more worried about Hannah. Maybe Luke too, in part. You see the man that hides behind self-importance, and is someone who cares for the person who stands beside him, no matter how questionable that is now. After all, no anger is worse than that of a scorned woman. And Hannah, while as refined and well-mannered she is in front of the guests, I'm not sure if she'll be all too willing to tolerate this. Her party, her home, her husband, and that woman has just dared to walk over it. Oh, she's not looking well. It's in her eyes when she turns to her, the face of someone who demands she be given the same respect she has long deserved.
You are no longer welcome in any of our states, our properties, and our businesses. And we will no longer patronize yours. Now, escort the girl and make sure she isn't standing even an inch within our grounds.
Hannah's outrage is a strange sight to witness. After those smiles and the grace she has carried herself through the entirety of the party, like this, her eyes burning bright fury. I don't doubt she can do so much more, even the scandalous woman if need be. Shaming her is already an act of mercy, generous enough coming from her.
You won't show your face to me ever again if you know what is good for you, Rochelle.
Oh yeah, that's her name, Rochelle, I was right.
Take her away.
And we still haven't even cracked the case on that. Like, what's the deal behind that? What the hell does the chief inspector what's the chief inspector's reaction for that? No one protests, not even the subject of her eyes, as she is forcibly dragged out. Even the smile on Luke's face wavers, but she eventually turns to him and pulls him out of the room for a talk of their own. For a brief moment, there's a concerned effort between those left in the hall. Concerted effort. A short second of tense silence while struggling to figure out what to do with themselves. True to the kindness Hawk in these situations, track doesn't last too long. Soon chatter explodes throughout the whole ballroom. Void murmurs, clicking of the tongues, and inappropriate gossip filters through the tension in the room. Most of them haven't even left the premises and they're already talking about it. Tomorrow, it'll be on the news for sure. And every local broadsheet and tabloid looks full. I could care less about any of it. Simply thinking about this already gives me a headache. And the shock is faded, I just feel bone tired. I've accomplished nothing of what I come here for, and apparently, actions disappear sometimes during the commotion. I'm not sure what pisses me off more. He ignored me the whole evening and might have just slipped out saying anything. I know he obviously has some other motive for being here. Can he at least trust his own friends for that?
He didn't have to hide it from me.
The only relief to be had in this, perhaps, is Zachary's comforting smile when he approaches. He appears disturbed when he stands beside me, fiddling with the buttons on his camera, even though the device is off.
Eventful night, huh?
You can say that again. It was awful.
Pauses for a moment, stares at me intently. Then he laughs, a tired one but filled with humor, despite what we witnessed.
Let me guess. Ashton.
Oh, what makes you think he's my problem?
Just a hunch. And, it's all in your face, actually.
Why does he have to? I don't understand that man anymore.
Like I always say, you should just...
Oh, you can bet your ass we're going to have a very long
Oh
talk.
boy.
I'm not letting him off easy this time.
I'm sure he has a good reason. He won't say it, but he likes being around us. Heck, we're probably the only people he likes. He ain't gonna ruin that for something stupid. He can be dense, but he ain't dumb.
But that's exactly what I've been telling people, isn't it?
We'll see about that. I just want to go home. Are you done here?
Nah, sorry. I can't until the party ends.
It's all right. I'll just take a cab or something. I'll see you later, Zachary.
Before removing myself from the room, I lay a comforting hand on his arm, needed among these people. And then I am gone, more than ready to end this disastrous night as early as possible. Oh my god, we're really gonna be stuck here? This is the prime place for the ghost to show up, you know? As it turns out, the night isn't done with me yet. There he is. Because no sooner has the floor closed the door behind me, I find myself standing alone on the floor with one Luke right. No sign of his wife. Just him and the agitated clicks his shoes make, while he threads around the empty room. Looking at media's prying eyes and the guest-judging stares, it's easy to glean how much the scandal has him shaken. Not to the point where he has utterly lost his composure. He appears to have mastered himself enough not to. But an ample opening is there for a nervous edge to show on the lines of his shoulders.
What do you know?
That's not as tough as he makes himself out to be. Sure, I've seen this before, briefly in that 1 second in the hallway at school. It's a strange matter, however, no witness this out in the open. Behind closed doors, this is the real Luke Wright. But maybe that's because he hasn't noticed my presence yet, because he's with his thinking. If he's aware, I doubt he'll be acting like this. His pride is one thing he'll always wear with him. Even now, when I place a gentle hand on his shoulders, he rolls around to face me. There's a second long moment of anger flashing across his features before it dissolves into confusion. He tucks it away as quickly as he can, but it does nothing to change the impression I built with the man in my head.
Daisy, must you be everywhere?
We've only met 3 times, Luke. Quit the dramatics. Besides, shouldn't you be aware of who gets invited to your party?
If I was, there wouldn't be any of that scene tonight. That munter wouldn't even get an inch within this property. I'd better off Luxport if I could.
He probably pawns everything off to their servants to hand him. Pompous, elitist douche.
Did you just come out here to lecture me about it? Because, Daisy, I've had enough of it for one night. I don't need to hear another one.
You are a very unpleasant man.
So I've been told. Will that be all? If so, I suggest you go back and join every bloody goss in that room.
Not everything. It's unpleasant, frustrating talking with this man is. He deserves the benefit of the doubt, at least. Questions and criticisms aren't lacking, of course. Right this instant, there's only one thing that comes to mind.
Is there some truth to it then?
Minus. Oh boy. To his credit, he does appear extremely offended and repulsed by the notion. His mortified expression alone answers the question, but I want to hear it from him, even if it takes nothing short of a derisive tone just to answer that.
Daisy? Oh, Daisy. If you believed every scandal that came along, I'd have 100 children already. Do me a favor and give me a break. I get enough of this false shite from the tabloids.
Well, I'm sorry for asking. I just wanted to hear it from you, douche.
And now that you've heard it, does it change anything? Are we going to start seeing miracles now? A solution to poverty? Pigs flying in the sky!
Okay, you dickhead, knock it off.
Is some friendly concern such a hard thing to comprehend for you?
He pauses at that. Suddenly, he doesn't know what to do with his hands, and in the end, he simply stuffs them back into his pockets and sulks. I'm not too shocked this caught him off guard. There probably aren't many people who tell him that. He's a difficult man to get along with. Zachary probably won't want to be anywhere near her, despite the man having the patience of a saint. Ashton, he can tolerate, maybe, but I highly doubt he can keep it up with Luke. Dealing with him requires more than patience. It's a huge mystery why I still bother. The awkwardness passes mostly coming from him, he glances away.
Maybe. I don't need your stupid friendship.
Good heavens! I really want to ask how Hana's able to deal with you.
He's interested, I can tell from the frown he shoots my way. He's likely wondering how I ended up knowing her. I humor him any other day, probably tease him about it, and keep him guessing just to annoy him, if I'm in a good mood. My own patience is nearing its end. After Ashton, after the whole fiasco here, and now him. I won't answer my own questions properly. Why should I answer his? Moreover, there are other matters more important than that. His marital problems, first and foremost. His attitude follows right after. Considering the side, I can't help with those. Those are things only he can fix, and definitely not by standing around here. So a slight wave of my hand, I end it right here, and walk away from him. But I can't resist the urge to glance back before I leave, only to have one last look at the man he really is. Instantly I turn my gaze on him, I see it. The ghost again, looming, hovering over his shoulders, drawn to him like a moth to a flame. And the first time I've stepped inside the place in search of Isabella, he was there too, wasn't he? That man, the woman whose wife, and another person. Is it call it? That shadow. No, a woman now. Her, no longer a dark blur. Terror rushes through every vein in my body. Crippling sensation gripping every part, and she stares at me with a glare filled with nothing but hate and venom. It's like staring at the eyes of a woman I've unknowingly robbed of something precious. I try to say something, a warning. Before I can gather my wits and voice it out, someone shuts the door behind me, as if to keep outsiders away from the secrets this mansion possesses. It's a good thing we got out of there. The brush of fresh air against my cheeks does little to dampen the chill in my bones, but now the sensation, feeling disquiet, it leaves whenever I see her. That is familiar enough to me, already has made a home in my nerves. I don't even notice my trembling hands until I cross my arms across my chest, and the cold from the tips of my fingers seeping through the thick material of my shirt. Neither of it helps bring together some semblance of coherent thought in my head, but I know I should.
Someone has to tell that douche.
I start walking back before fear can cripple me again. It's not wise, returning to that, especially after what happened. I still know friend of Luke. He doesn't deserve whatever misfortune that letter might bring. Can't just leave those two in there. Isabella's right. She's real, and there's something she wants from everyone who has read that.
Becca, where'd you go off to?
If you're done here, let's go. I'll get you back to the city. My mistake. The second his voice cuts through the crisp night air, is that I allow my annoyance to get the better of me. Ash boy. Fuming, purpose forgotten, I whirl around and march towards him. One accusation after another piles up at the tip of my tongue, ready to hurl at any moment. There's no hesitation holding me back when I fling it at him. That straight face he keeps as I do so doesn't help temper my anger either. It only makes me want to slap some more sense into him.
Shouldn't I be the one asking you that?
Becca, I've been waiting here the whole time since that mess in the hall. I told you I hate parties like...
And before that, where have you been the entire evening?
Right then and there, I might have forgiven him if he'd shown some ounce of remorse for leaving me like that. Maybe he could have looked away, giving me a sign that my assumptions might be right. He doesn't even need to put them into words. A simple gesture of confirmation is all I need. Rather, what I get is the same passive look. He does that whenever he can't disclose anything. He does that whenever he's lying. In the face of it, amidst the thick tension, a frustrated huff is the only thing I can summon.
Be that way. Fine. Suit yourself.
No more words. After everything I've seen and heard tonight, I'm already too exhausted for those. So without speaking any further, I simply walk past him and stomp over his car. Although before I can pull open the door, he calls out, one hand outstretched, gently weighing my shoulders.
Wait, Becca.
He pauses, his brows furrowing and lips curving to a slight frown. You almost see the gears turning in his head while he tries to piece together everything he wants to say. Before, perhaps, might have waited patiently for those. He's not a man fond of using words to express himself. More often than not, any gesture of honesty will only come out blunt and coarse when forced. Today, for one reason or another, I simply can't summon that forbearance.
Ashton, if you're just going to waste my time again...
Becca, listen. I don't know how else...
That much is obvious. Why don't you just take the whole bloody night? Go on. I can wait until next year. Better yet, why don't you just keep it all to yourself like you always do? It's not like...
Rebecca, will you hear me out first?
The silence I can offer him, but whether I'll believe that what he's about to say is still for debate. A very long debate.
I honestly don't know how else to put this. I'm aware your parents have some kind of history with Hannah Wright, and somehow you're friends with her. But you should stay away from these people for now. Especially the husband.
Who? Luke?
His expression deepens into a scowl at my mention of the name. But whatever opinion he has, it doesn't immediately voice. Still, something about it is greatly displeased him, evident the stiff note his tone assumes.
Yeah, he's bad news.
Oh, gee, you think? It's my turn to frown this time. What does he mean by that?
Oh, what does he have to do with this?
Oh, damn it! I just want to know. It's not a question without merit. Though the man can be quite abrasive, sometimes downright nasty with his words, he can't simply accuse anyone by virtue of that alone. And it is an accusation, no matter how much Ashton phrasing downplays their meaning. What right does he have to tell me who I should associate myself with? Not even bothering to tell me his reasons for that.
Plenty. Just trust me on this, Becca.
Don't you Becca me. That doesn't answer my question at all, Ash. You haven't answered any of my questions, in fact. What's really going on here?
I want to hear it from him. If we are to go down this route, I want to hear it straight from his mouth. Because wherever he thinks of the man, I haven't found any reason why I should be wary of him. Sure, we start off on the wrong foot, but he's a decent guy when he tries. A simple explanation is all I want. Is that really so hard to understand for him?
The situation's complicated. One mistake and you guys could...
So, we're back here again. More secrets? Why can't you be honest to me for once?
He's a dangerous man to be around, Rebecca.
Really? Care to elaborate on that? Because from what I've seen, the only dangerous thing about that guy is his audacity to cheat on his wife.
Why are you defending him?
Who said anything about defending anyone?
You know, I'm getting really worried about you guys. First it's Zach, and now you're...
Oh, you're worried?
This doesn't sound like it's going a good way. Somehow even that concern feels empty to me, even if it's from him.
You care? Really now? If you care, then where were you the entire party?
That doesn't matter right now. You know I can't simply...
Forget it, Ashton. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about this anymore tonight. Speak to me when you're ready to stop spouting the same barefaced lies.
Ashton jerks back as if I've struck him. For a fleeting moment, something akin to hurt darts across his features, his eyes narrowing at the hands closing in tightly into a fist at his sides. It does little to lull my ill humor, because in the next second his answer sounds nothing of the apologetic tone I'm expecting from him.
Fine!
A little regret would have been nice.
Fine.
In my anger, I don't even notice when I've climbed inside the car. Not until I've slammed its door behind me with as much force as I summoned. We follow soon after, shortly on our way back to the city. Okay, so what updates do we have in our journal? Yeah, that, you know. Rebecca found Ashton waiting for her upon exiting the mansion. Frustrated because he was nowhere to be found during the entire party, she demanded to know what was going on. They couldn't give her an answer, so ended up having a huge fight. Oh boy. That's something I want to happen between them. Even with the city's bright lights welcoming us, the dense somber air from the mansion still lingers. The moon was almost at its highest by the time we reached Salem Mall. Even after our respective heads have cooled off, the atmosphere within the car remains rifled and spoken tension. This isn't a problem so easily fixed with a few handshakes. Quite frankly, I don't know what will. Ashton himself has no idea what to do when he alights and dolls awkwardly in the middle of the car park unsure. Almost seems like he's having an internal debate whether he should say goodbye or mutter another apology. Could have driven him away, purely out of spite, the second I've gotten off. Still, old habits die hard. It's late, and Ashton's flat is on the other side of the city. Irritation would still rear its head every time I look at him right now. Well, not too cool to put him up another long drive, especially when he still appears as if he hasn't gotten any rest.
You can borrow the couch.
Throw the keys to my flat his way before protest form on his lips. Although he catches it with ease, he eyes it with a wary expression and shoots a puzzled glance my way.
You haven't been forgiven. We're still going to have that talk, believe me. But I'm not about to send you out on another drive looking like that. It's late. Go get some rest.
We're setting aside a lot of loose ends like this, but he appears to have accepted that reason, at least in the meantime. He does give me another questioning glance when I shove past him, pulling my mobile in the process.
Where are you going? I thought...
You go ahead upstairs. I need to contact Professor Andrew.
Andrew? Why would you... Oh, no. Please. Is this that thing Isabella said this morning? Again? I already gave her my word, Becca. I'll look into this BRC crap. No need to drag the old guy into it.
Of course, he's still skeptical. Makes one wonder if he's even seeing anything at all. Figures this curse will stay away from the scoffer. This is another loose end tonight that I can't just leave alone. Ashton's beliefs notwithstanding. Just so happens that it's one I can delve into using means other than taking a look at the mansion itself.
Ashton, do you really think I still give a shite after that stunt you pulled tonight?
No, but this is...
I spent so many years with him to know this is about to turn to another argument. Before he can finish it, I come off with a firm raise in my hand.
Look, I don't care. There are weird things happening around here. And yes, it's Isabella's brand of weird. Ghostly voices, strange sounds, and a bloody woman sitting at the back of my car. You don't have to believe me. And I no longer have the patience to convince you, so just leave me be, Ashton.
He doesn't push it, growing quiet instead. Although I know he has the whole case to prepare inside his head, there's a reluctant shift in his movement when he steps away from our conversation. Sort of climbing the stairs, he stops, turning to face me with an expression almost too conflicted.
Are you really sure?
What?
That there was something? That you've been, seeing things?
Yes, I'm very, very certain. Now go, and you better not break anything in there. The last time I let you stay over, it was that statuette Belle gave me. You haven't even replaced that one.
Last of my reprimand goes both unheard and unanswered as he disappears behind the stairs. If things aren't strained, he might have a quip or two about that, followed by a light banter. Instead, for a long moment, I am left staring at him. There's something in the way he asks that nags. Coupled with his expression, the whole exchange feels unsettling. No, that guy again. One that doesn't fade even as I gather my thoughts and shift my focus on another, even as I dial Professor Andrew's number. And that's when it clicks. During the long wait for the professor, one stray thought emerges from the unease. Ashton is not intended for his question to be a jibe. It's concern. For what, though? My well-being? The latest curse? The woman I mentioned? The answers for those will have to wait, however. Finally, the call connecting Professor Andrew's voice echoes from the receiver.
Professor Andrew?
Rebecca? It's late. What can I do for you?
I know, I'm sorry, but this is a bit urgent.
After all, this is a more pressing matter. Our lives might be at stake and we're still in the dark.
Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you to do me a favor.
October 30th, Sunday. Professor Andrew Clark is greeting me 2 days later in front of the Sports Public Library. He has other commitments, but being a longtime family friend has its perks. I have my parents' connections to thank for that. Of course, I'm not the sort to impose on them often. The situation is, it's not entirely bad, although it does require calling in a few hours to meet friends like him. Without a signature, I won't be able to gain access to the library's restricted section if I want to get more in-depth information on the Ermengarde mansion. And it's not simply what they choose to show in the general public. As much as I hate to admit, there's always something people censor, and whatever it is, I won't find it in the general section. It has to be what they're keeping here, beyond public eye. The thought of that alone makes me antsy. Thankfully, I don't have to brood over it. The wait for the professor didn't last long. I never did enjoy making people wait. Likewise, he dislikes people who are tardy. He arrives 5 minutes after I do, greeting me with a kind smile and casual wave of his hand. I haven't seen him in so long, but it appears they haven't changed much. His familiar appearance alone is enough for a fond smile to spread across my face.
Professor Andrew,
Rebecca, didn't I say long ago you can drop the professor?
you know I can't possibly do that. Even if I can, it feels disrespectful to call you by your name alone.
Both you and Ashton never listen to this old man. Kids these days.
All right, but just for today, since you're doing me a huge favor, Andrew.
I guess you simply can't have it all, even at this old age. But pleasantries aren't what we're here for, yes? You mentioned you needed a permit.
Yes, sir, if that's okay with you.
More than fine. Anything in pursuit of knowledge, as they say.
Hands me the permit without further prompting. Just like he promised, he's also written a recommendation after his signature. This is more than enough to get me those files. I mutter small things before slipping into my pocket. But when I look back up, his brows are furrowed, and very face of curiosity. Not surprising considering how vague I've been during our little talk with the phone. Right then and there, I decide to tell him if he ever asks. And all of the stuff he needs to know. It's the least I can do to thank him. I suspect that through his inquisitive nature he asks.
If you don't mind, though, I know you've always been an eager learner. But may I know what in the restricted section that piqued your curiosity?
It's the Ermengarde mansion, sir.
I was quick to raise an eyebrow at that, and for a while I feared he'd take the slip of paper back. Just something in what I said.
The ones they have out in the general isn't enough?
I'm, hoping for a more in-depth read, sir. More about the history and the people who once lived there. The general section doesn't have anything much on that.
Oh, I see. Well, you certainly aren't the first one to be enamored with that place. It doesn't shock me. The architecture is admirable, and the urban legends are something to talk about.
The guy who voices him is amazing. Like, he really nails that old man type of vibe.
Why, just this past week, I've got a few asking me about that. Imagine that.
I think enamored might be a little too much to describe our interest in it. But I have to agree. The mansion is beautiful, even with the renovations. They kept the stained glass windows, too. They are magnificent.
Oh, you've seen it.
I was there for a few hours to attend a housewarming party. The invitation was for my parents, but they couldn't make it. My mum used to work as a private tutor for the Evans. Hannah Wright?
Ah, I know of her. Her husband, too. Who doesn't? Luxbourne's most popular couple.
Something falls behind his eyes, the one thing that's suddenly gone. Like he's reliving a painful distant memory and seeing it play right in front of him. It disappears almost as soon as it surfaces, but that look has insulted something in me.
Is something the matter?
Nothing much. But you know, you're already like a daughter to me. So if you could, do be careful with the friends you make.
Is this about the rights, sir?
Just a friendly advice from an old man. Don't think much about it. Anyway, I have to leave now. Can't miss my weekly serving of bear claws. Say hi to your parents at the detective inspector for me, will you? I wish you luck with all that research.
Thanks.
I will. Thanks for this, Andrew.
Andrew gives my shoulder a light squeeze, the gesture a younger me has always appreciated, and quickly crosses the street after. I watch him until he disappears behind the door to the cafe until doubt swimming inside my head finds a moment to rest. Whatever his business is with the right isn't anything I should concern myself about. Somehow in the grand scheme of things now, all of it feels all irrelevant. The how, though, I've yet to find out, and I'm hoping the library will give me the answers I want this time. On the gloomy Sunday morning, the library is especially empty. The second floor in particular. I've always considered this place to be a sanctuary, a respite away from the hubbub of the city. As a child, I grew up reading books here, spending hours here to no end poring over the pages, living out fantasies in my head until my parents called me home. Now it feels nothing like it. The silence is smothering, suffocating. Even with how clean they've kept the microfiche room, while the entire small of it lacks a speck of dust and clutter, breathing is a struggle for air. Now far into my stay, I begin to long for the noise outside, and perhaps as the weight calms its unease, I start to hum a tune. Imagine that. Why of all things it has to be at some nursery rhyme, with not an inkling. It does its job, however, and fills the lull with something far less awkward, far less deafening. That is enough for distraction. I have business here. No time for silly daydreams or important work to attend to. If there's the possibility of it being fruitless by some means, it feels like I have to do it. Now for me, and for the people who has been affected by this, what do you even call this? A haunting? And when praying gone wrong? A curse? If Isabella were here, what would she say? Would she panic? Would she be angry I only listen to her now? It all stems from that one moment in the movie house, doesn't it? We could have avoided this had we only taken her warnings to heart. One stupid mistake is all it took to send our normal lives in a downward spiral. Frankly, I'm no longer sure if I'm angry at myself for it or at the universe for throwing us into this mess. We can only make do with little what we have, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Going here might not be the right decision, but it's a start.
A good start.
It doesn't take much time for me to find what I need. A microfiche of old newspapers, long kept in special storage cabinets at the far end of the restricted section. The year is 1620s and beyond. Before the city looks born, even existing records when the mansion has just been built, and Anselm is nothing more but a small, sleepy hamlet near a river. A lot of pieces are missing, days, sometimes several consecutive weeks without any records remaining. Often it goes on for years. Troublesome. But as it is, I'm lucky enough to find anything at all concerning the farm looking back. Can't be picky now. Can't waste time mulling over what record keepers of the old could have done to make this a breeze for me.
I can still work with this.
Oh, sorry about that. The faint whir of the microfiche machine keeps me company as I go over each slide, each image, hoping for something that goes beyond what the local lore knows. There are snippets, little mentions of the family that once settled in the house here and there. The usual singing of praises for the couple who helped brought up what was once a tiny settlement to a bustling town. Nothing substantial, nothing I didn't know before. It continues on like this for a good while, until I come by years after their deaths. The people of Anselm might have loved Lord William and Lady Elizabeth Armengard mourned their passing and held them in the highest esteem in the years after. But it was their daughter who was remembered fondly by the townspeople. If her parents built this town, Lady Charlotte was the one who made it prosper. Remarkable concerning was the period of recovery from the bout of plague that killed half the town's population, including her parents. What's surprising, though, apparently her time also marked more than superficial changes to the place. She moved things, changed laws, altered old customs and traditions, but they were done on a woman's whimsy, doesn't say. She seems capable enough for more than that. Just as it is, the town she rebuilt, it's what eventually grew to become Luxborn City, while the nearby Anselm village remained as a plus, are relatively old. A frown swiftly forms in my face.
So, why is there a need to hide this?
One by one, I tried to recall every list I've gone through, every book, paper, and journal I've read. None of those ever mentioned this. It's always the lord and the lady of the house, their endearing child, always an afterthought to those anecdotes, and one who always took her life in the end. Never someone who restored a town from the brink of collapse, or brought new ideas to it. Is it because she's a woman?
That pisses me off.
Granted, not everything is sunshine and rainbows, and all aspects of her can be considered admirable. But this is history. Some parts are bound to naturally delve into unpleasant territory whether I like it or not. Witch hunts, for example, became common near the end of her life, which would have been completely unremarkable and might have gone to become a mere footnote in history, if it didn't involve Lady Charlotte and the very slaves she saved. It caused quite a stir, enough to leave almost a week worth of clippings. The girl was eventually burned, condemned by an entire town. The word of laying Charlotte alone. This doesn't really have anything to do with this curse, does it? Unless that woman following us and the slave are the same person. A tale of revenge? How cliche. However, with the lack of accurate photographs, it's impossible to tell. Maybe if I squint, the illustration would start resembling her? But my field doesn't work that way. It shouldn't work that way. I'll be a laughing stock of the community.
This isn't going anywhere.
Mentally exhausted, I take a careful step away from the screen, pressing a palm to my tired eyes. Lack of ample light in this area doesn't help. A headache already threatens to form the back of my head. Nowhere near figuring things out. It's simply too much to take in all at once.
I should have asked for someone's help.
Now I'm at a dead end. I start gathering everything around me and placing it in the back of the respective envelopes for storage. The motion is no longer new after volunteering here a number of times. It didn't make much mess anyway, considering the lack of materials available to begin with. I have to look somewhere else. To where remains unknown though. Just as I'm about to slip the last slides, something catches my attention. My hand pauses, and microfiche halfway through its protective sleeve. This is one of the few I've set aside about taking careful look at. It seems like a gossip column at first glance, but upon closer look, slide it back to the reader and gently turn the dials in search of the page. It takes some time, but once the image becomes clear, I must have had this drawing commissioned from this announcement. I don't doubt it. The details are far more intricate, the likeness likely closer to how they might have appeared at the time. They're both recognizable this way, closer to those paintings I've seen in the mansion. However, it's the man standing beside her, Edward Godfrey, according to the article, that caught my attention previously. His first cousin, and eventually her fiancé. Maybe it's the posture, the manner in which he holds himself. Maybe it's the shape of his eyes. Though I can't be too certain about it until I count the bare reference. Unless there is resemblance. He looks eerily like... My head snaps up, glowering at whoever's running at the floor above. Any day I'd march upstairs and reprimand whoever it is.
This is a library, for heaven's sake.
Now isn't the time. I've gotten what I need. Without wasting another minute, I hit the machinery's screen button for a copy of the page, while my other hand used to put everything back in storage. A ragged exhale slips from me. Relief, perhaps? Or maybe it's already exhaustion. Regardless, soon closing my eyes as I wait for the printer to finish, if only to save off a headache building up from everything. Sometimes I begin humming the same song again, for comfort. Okay, what do we got again? Just the update. This may be a small find, but at least it can start somewhere. We can start somewhere. There's a way out of this. I know it. Printer sputters to a halt. However, its sound isn't what makes me snap my eyes open. Oh boy. A feeling, a chilly brush bare behind my back, brief enough for something sickening to suddenly lodge itself in my throat while taking my surroundings. It's that suffocating sensation again, creeping into every part of me, crawling under my skin, draining me little by little of any strength. That day in the mansion, that brief moment at the school, without delay I grabbed the papers and quickly ran for the door. There she is. Just don't twist your head around, okay? My whole body freezes.
What are you doing, Miss Pink?
Hold my breath, not daring to make any noise. For a little while, only the sound of papers crumpling under my grasp fills the room. The sound from earlier gone instantly, replaced by a cold, seeking dread spreading throughout my limbs. But more than the fear is the anger. It pains me to hear her using my own student's voice against me. And more than once I believed it was really her. She has no right.
Why don't you play with me?
Although she hasn't made a move, if there isn't a wall behind me, I'll probably take a step back. Anything to put a distance between us, no matter how small, as long as I'm out of her reach. But I steel myself, because if I do fall back, turn away from her, I'll be left with no way out. I'm not dying here.
You think you scare me?
Miss Pink, don't be so rude. I'm waiting.
I'm not afraid of you, you spook! This is one Scotswoman. You aren't getting into an early grave without a fight! Come at me!
That's a bad idea. I expect she'll lunge to prove to me what a monster she is. There's that vicious smile again. Still, she gives me a smile, twisted and gnarled, as if time has crawled to a stop at the sight of it. A split-second decision. Before I know it, my body shifts. Eyes closed in anticipation, hand grabbing whatever solid enough on the nearby table and hurling it at her. At the bottom looking if whatever I drew hit its mark, I run, as fast as my legs can carry me, despite my heart threatening to burst out of my chest. With these amazing bookshelves and the whole place almost void of people. Shit. I'm gonna save in case. Door! If there's one, it is out of this room, out of this place as far as anyone can get from her. I can't think about the rest of what I can do after I'm outside when there are other people I can ask for help. When she's not chasing me after this, there's no hesitation in my steps as I rest in the stricken section's door, head downstairs and barrel straight for the library's exit. Towards safety, desperate bed for my life, library rooms be damned. No longer here behind me, not taking any chances. Breath almost escapes me as I near the door. A little more, and out of nowhere a library card careens from a blind corner and slams to my side. My back hits the floor with a hard thud, the impact completely knocking the breath out of me. The copper tang of blood gradually spreads over my tongue as I fight to get my bearings back. I force myself to move, even with excruciating pain coursing through my limbs. It's almost there. If only I can... There's no moment's respite. Next thing I know, there's heavy weight on top of me, and cold digits slide around my neck, tight like a vice, pressing, closing in, gasping for air. Through my blurred vision, I can only make out the hateful gleam, spy in her eyes as she leans over my body and grip on my good girl's tighter. Desperation kicks in. My nails dig into her wrist and struggle against her firm grip, trying to pry her fingers away.
Let me go!
Keep the slider in the green bar moving the rice. Oh, okay. I get it. Run now! I don't think twice. My limbs are moving on the run before what I did could register in my brain, my lungs could recover. Behind me, she lets out a cry, sharp, loud, and thunderous against the empty walls of the library. The fear the walls bring compares nothing to the relief washing over me when I finally make it out. Oh. My knees buckle as soon as my feet hit the pavement. The surface cold and hard against my skin. I've only been there for a few hours, about 1 or 2 probably. I don't know anymore. Feels like an eternity all the same. Breathing hasn't slowed down yet. I don't expect it to go after going through that. Probably took the most undignified creature on a Saturday morning right now. Out of breath, disheveled, slumped here with a bloody lip and all. But at present, I simply can't bring myself to care, even when a few passers-by start giving me strange looks. Stare at me all you want, I don't give a single shite. I'm alive. I'm safe. This isn't the end yet, but I'm safe. Inside my bag is something that could get us out of this mess. Nothing definite yet. I want to get my hopes up, but it's still something. Isabella is here. I'm sure she'll feel the same. She'll even be the first person who put their faith on it. Whenever this will lead us to a victory on its own. Now all that's left is to find the others, the rest of us trapped in this bloody nightmare. Ryan Q as if an answer to my previous thought. Mobile phone lets out a beep. I pick it up, simply hoping it'll be one of them. Only it's a voicemail that greets me. From Ashton. It's a pang of disappointment, of course, but it brings some reassurance that things happen to at least one of them.
Hey, Becca, call me back when you're free. We need to talk. ASAP.
The answer's right there. The message less than a minute long. Curt and gives nothing away. Let me use my words regardless, and do as she asks. As he asked, because this, too, was another triumph for us. A less thing to worry about. We're with Ashton now. Oh, we're already starting at this, aren't we? Let's see what we got. Rebecca was seen limping out of the Luxembourg Public Library late Sunday morning. Checking her mobile, lone voicemail from Ashton was in it, telling her to talk ASAP. Ashton's profile was in luck. There was little love between his parents, and though he grew up privileged, he found little joy in student life. He saw the standard testing system as a chore and considers popularity among his peers to be an annoyance. Rebecca was the only one he considered a friend in St. Goretti. he was no better when he went to university, making his indifferent look got worse when his parents divorced. Initially he took law, but was quickly disillusioned by how heavy-handed and abused the system was. Forensic science, on the other hand, became fascinating for him. He served a brief time as a police officer before he applied to join Lexport's Criminal Investigation Department. Early on, he was too eager to deal out justice, but his numerous years in service became quite the learning experience for him. As a detective inspector, he's been assigned to his biggest case yet. Okay, American-Japanese. Nice. You know, we're actually gonna get into this chapter in the next video. So, we're finally playing an action and Becca's chapter is gone. Wait, let me just quickly check. How much do we have left? Okay, so just him and then Luke left. So, we're pretty much closing in on the end. So, we kind of find out the small amount of backstory in regards to the mansion, but nothing too concrete. Rebecca apparently found something that could help them out, but even then, that's still a massive maybe if that will help out. So, without further ado, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully, I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!